We ready?
Are we live?
We are live, guys. Thank you. Welcome to Jtwes Monday Night Live again from the living room. It's cold outside, and I'll just be honest with you. I said, Lena, it's going to be 50 degrees. Let's sit in on that warm couch, and we'll just have us a nice long discussion.
Yeah. And
Hope everybody's doing good. Thank you all for watching the videos and commenting. And Lena said, let me see what that says.
Jane.
Says, welcome to Jtwes member James Thompson. Thank you, James Thompson. I appreciate it very, very much. I don't really push memberships that much because I don't have a whole lot to offer you guys. And I've always said, if you want to be a member, thank you. And it just helps support the channel and the missionary that we support. So thank you. Who all we got in here? We got Mark in here. Hey, Mark.
Yeah, Mark is on. Good evening. And Nick Blanton.
Hey, Nick. I think I seen a text from you, Nick. When I do a live, about 15 to 20 minutes before I do the live, I put a one of those silence the phone notifications so it cuts off all the emails and texts because I don't want to get a phone call in the middle of the live. So you may have seen that, but I think I caught it.
Excuse me.
Hello,
Sorry.
Sneeze. How are you doing
Well,
tonight, Sneeze?
yeah, I've just been a little with the whole pollen again. It's just, one day I'm good, one day I'm not. So,
Leno said Sneeze is on here, guys.
so forgive me. Timbo is on.
Hey, Timbo.
David Cannon.
Yeah, I like Timbo's comment the other day. I told you was funny. I can't remember what it was. Timbo, I liked your comment the other
I
day.
don't know.
On the video.
Laura's on.
Hey, Laura.
Paul Ford.
Big Paul.
He said, a beautiful, cool day to be working in the garden.
It is.
And Welch Farms is on.
Welch Farms. Yeah, he's in early tonight.
Well, they've had a long day. They had to put the wife's dog down. He had cancer.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that.
Leno's had to do similar to that. We don't know what she had, but we just know that she wasn't making it. So it's kind of a hard deal. It really is.
Yeah, it is.
My buddy at Moore Farmalls, he had to do the same thing this week.
Elliot Lindsay's on.
Hey, Elliot.
This 1904 farm.
1904.
Janice Dalton's on.
Hey, Janice. Hope corn ain't coming up, Janice. Mine's not. I checked. It's busting the seed, but it hasn't come up through the ground. So the corn should be okay tonight. Peach tree, we're just going to rely on the Lord just putting his hand around that peach tree tonight.
Yes, y'all help me pray for that because I'm stressed about the peach tree. It's got so many blooms on it, and I know, well, it's got so many babies on it. And, you know, I know we won't get all of those, but it's usually several or none, you know.
And when that's the picture I put up for the live tonight was showing y'all those pretty little baby peaches.
Yeah, and I went and looked at it, and I thought, oh, it's not that tall. But then you walked out there today, and it's way taller than you. I said, no, we're not going to be able to cover it.
Yeah,
There's just no way.
It's a big old tree.
Yeah, it's a lot bigger. Because when I was noticing the height, I was walking off that hill. So I was at a vantage point. So that's what, you know, I was looking at it wrong. Roger's on too.
Hey, Roger.
Greg Mosier. And Stan is on.
Hey, Stan.
Brian is on. Farm Boy 59.
Hey, Brian.
Joey Neal.
Brian, is that a new tractor to you?
Bowers Brothers Farms on.
That would be Nikki. Hey, Nikki.
The W is on.
The W.
Dakota Holman.
Hey, Dakota.
And
Have we seen it? Yeah, have we seen that, Dakota Holman?
I don't know. Bart is on.
Hey, Bart.
And he says, cool today. Yes, it is.
Yes, it is. Bart, Ellie come by. Hey, Ellie, what you got?
Hey, Ellie.
Oh, where'd you get that?
I bought it with it.
Okay. That looks good. Ellie come by to show me a little 410 that he bought.
It's so little.
It's just a 410.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
It's light. I like it.
It looks light. Are you leaving?
Yeah, I'm going to
Oh,
head to the house.
okay. Tell Kaylee we said hey.
Okay.
All right, love you.
Love you. Bye.
Bye.
Sorry, guys. Joey says Hickory King corn and potatoes are up.
That's Joey Neal? Mm-hmm. Well, I think Joey's down south of us a little bit, so I think he'll be okay.
Yeah.
It's forecasting 34, 35 where me and Roger live at, so, like I said, I think me and his corn will be okay. We'll be fine there, and I kind of felt like we was going to have one more, but last week when I made the decision to plant, it said 42 degrees. It's 7 degrees off.
Yeah. And that's a very important 7 degrees
41
right
or
now.
42 is what it said. And I was
Yeah.
like, and then I kept checking it all week, and it kept lowering.
Allison's on too.
Hey, Allison.
And speaking of Allison, I'm wearing my Jtwes shirt.
Yes, Allison.
Specially
thank
made
you.
for me. I love these colors.
And I got my new hat, guys, that Will and Allison, I guess, put together.
Yeah, because Will had wanted a red one for you.
I don't know why I didn't think about red before, but I really like his
I
red
do too.
hat.
It's my favorite, definitely. It says David is on.
Hey,
Says,
David.
Hello, my friend. Joel Tate is on.
Joel Tate, that's a new name, ain't it? Joel, thank you.
Paul says, I'm glad I procrastinated about planting the tomatoes and stuff here.
Have you planted them yet, Paul? I don't know. Has he say he planted them, or he just waited?
Just about planting.
Leno had a couple of volunteer German Johnsons come up in her flower bed from the big, gigantic, enormous plant last year. So we covered them up with some plastic Tupperware bowls. I told them they should be okay.
Yeah, so those are the ones we can definitely save.
Yeah.
And speaking of procrastination, I seen something that said I used to be a crastinator, but I got so good at it I went procrastinator.
That sounds like a Pete joke.
Yeah, that's what reminded me of when Paul said he procrastinated. Melvin Madigan's on.
Hey, Melvin.
Says, sorry, missed last Tuesday's live. Was at church helping with some maintenance.
Hey, that's okay. We were at church too Monday. That's why we didn't have it Monday.
He was helping maintain a couple of the church buses.
Yeah, got to do that. Pick them up.
1904 Farm says, pray our peach tree makes it as well.
Yes, we will.
Danny Henley's on.
Hey, Danny Henley.
Janice says, to keep our fingers crossed, my peach tree is finished blooming. Yeah, ours has too.
Yeah, Janice, ours has got little peaches on it like the size of my thumb. I mean, they're and it's loaded with them. And I told Leno, even if there was no threatening of frost, you still gonna lose some peaches that just not gonna make it. But it looked to have more than we've ever had before on it.
Yeah, because even what I considered was a good year, I felt like we only got 10.
Yeah.
10 good ones.
Of course, I ate and Sammy eat some.
Right, I don't know. Yeah, I don't know how many were eaten right at the tree that I didn't know about, because I'm sure that would happen. Remember that one year you grew strawberries?
Yeah.
And Elliot was coming home from school and going down the line eating all the ripe ones.
Yeah.
And I didn't work at home then, so we'd come home and there's no
Still had green strawberries
right.
every
So,
day.
there was none getting ripe, and it was because Elliot was making his way down the line before we ever got home. So
That's all right. I wouldn't trade that for nothing.
oh, I know. That's just good.
I was just thinking, when we were younger, you'd always hear, "Hey, man, let's take a trip to South Carolina and get some of them fresh peaches." It was a big deal. Drive below Charlotte, get into South Carolina 20, 30 miles and use peach stand.
And Elliot was so bad about that, because I remember he would do it with the cherry tomatoes too.
Yeah, I don't remember that.
And he would take some salt out there sometimes.
Oh.
But he would go down the line, the red cherry tomatoes he'd eat out there, but he'd like to have a little salt with those. And he'd be barefoot, of course. Let me find my place.
I don't think you were that far down.
William May is on.
Hey, William May.
Broome Farms, North Georgia. Enjoy the videos.
Broome Farms. All right.
And Brian says he got that tractor in 2019.
Oh, okay. For some reason, I just thought maybe it was new from your video the other day when I was watching. I said, man, that's a nice tractor. It's nice either way.
1904 says we had frost this morning.
Where are you at?
I think they're in Virginia.
Virginia?
I think.
Yeah.
But I could be wrong. Let us know, this 1904 farm. David Cannon wants to know, why are we not in the tractor shed tonight?
I'm cold, David.
Yeah, we're
I'm
cold people.
natured.
Both of us.
We could have, and I told Leno when I got home, I said, honey, I said, we'll just wait till a nice, prettier, warmer day next week when it's not going to get down to 30-some, and cold, do it in the living room, more comfortable.
Well, and I just,
But when it rains, we'll have to do it in here anyway. And like me and Leno said one time, if it's one of those steamy, hot July nights where it's 85 degrees still at 8 o'clock, we're probably in the AC.
yeah, especially if we've been outside working all day.
But I want to do a few
whatever
more
reason.
things to it too. I want to dress up a few more things, and hopefully I can do that before next Monday. We'll be back in there next Monday.
And the W, who's close to us, says we have a frost advisory here in Samora.
Oh yeah, yeah.
John Briggs is on.
Hey, John Briggs.
Hey, John. I'm still mad at John for not singing at church Sunday, though. I told him he's supposed to be up there. I know he would have blended right in there just
Don't
fine.
let it pressure you, John. You do what you want now.
I'm pressuring him. Joey Neal says South Kentucky next to Tennessee line, but we did have a light frost this morning. So he's definitely planting early then
Yeah.
for his area.
He say South Kentucky? Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on up there a little bit.
And Bart says he likes the red hat.
Thank you, Bart.
Jack Graham is on.
Hey, Jack Graham, all the way from the West Coast. I guess he's 4 o'clock over there.
He says, greeting folks, hope all is going well on your side of the country. Be watching for your corn to be popping through the ground probably another 2 or 3 weeks before planting here.
Yeah.
And yeah, he did plant, but they're not up yet, so that's good.
Well, I only checked one spot about, I picked out a spot and I just kind of raked the dirt back until I uncovered a seed. And the white part of the root was just busting the kernel, so
I think you'll be
I feel like
fine.
they're probably okay. There may be a overachiever out there that's touching the top of the ground, but I think you'll be okay.
J&D Farms, All Farm is on.
And J&D,
Says evening.
good evening.
And Janice says, excuse me, I meant pear tree. So her pear trees have blooms.
Yeah.
And I don't know what kind of pears she has. Ours are always so rock hard pears.
Well, they're Bartlett.
I don't like Bartlett pears. And we've got a ton of them.
You need to get you some of them Japanese pear trees.
I want some of those soft ones that you get at the grocery store.
Japanese have a lot of those.
Okay. Paul says, only planted corn here last weekend. Everything else is still inside. So he has planted corn.
I think you'll be all right, Paul.
Yeah. Leatherwood's Garage is on.
Leatherwood's Garage. I don't think I've heard that. I appreciate it.
Says, hi down south. We had frost here in southern Pennsylvania the past 2 days.
Ooh, I bet.
I'm glad I didn't catch the itch and start my garden early. Yeah, definitely in Pennsylvania, you definitely have to wait for a hard date of when there's no more frost, because I could see up there having a kind of a major frost, even though you've had very nice spring days. So
Well, tonight is the biggest reason why I kept telling myself I was going to wait till May 1st, because we always seem to get that real late. Well, I say late, but that one night in April, towards the end of it, always around the 20th or 25th.
And I should always remember that, because Will's birthday is the 30th, and I remember we had a birthday party, and I think it happened to be on his birthday, and it was very chilly out, and I was like, ooh, it's so cold for his first birthday party. So I really should remember that. Paul said, my drafting teacher in high school used to always joke about using a protractor. Said, I don't want any amateur tractors around here. Johnny Edgerton's on.
Hey, Johnny.
Says, me and Thomas checking in.
Hey, Thomas.
Hey, Thomas. Greg says, if you get frost on your peaches, spray them with water before sunrise if you can. That can help save your fruit.
That's a possibility. You just about could.
Yeah. I mean, we'd have to hook up
I'd
the
have
two
to run
water.
the hose down there.
Yeah. 2 water hoses. 1904 Farm, Virginia, 45 minutes from Madison, close to West Virginia line.
Yeah, he's not too far from Mom and Daddy.
Yeah, so they're always a little bit chillier up there than we are.
Now he's the one that planted that corn super early, ain't he? I think so. I think he told me last week that he had planted some corn.
He may have. Hopefully it's not out of the ground yet. Eugene Martin is on.
Hey, Eugene.
Says, hello, Jtwes family. Farm All Fanatic says, hey, everyone.
Hey, Gino. I like that chicken coop.
Kyle Dunnigan is on. Says, going to be a low of 40 here in northeast Georgia. Hoping my tomato plants make it, and corn too.
He said 40 in northeast Georgia. Yeah, that's probably close to the mountains of Georgia.
Yeah, but I think 40 is kind of okay. I
if
think
it
you have a
was-
range of like 38.
Yeah, if it was going to be 40 here tonight, I would be like, psh, don't worry about it. I might even have had the live outside because it wouldn't have been so cold.
Yeah. Chet Hodges says, hello, JT West.
Hey, Chet.
Did you get your tape up around the corn?
My tape? Oh, I did. I was going to show it tomorrow. We're going to make a video tomorrow, me and Sam. I was going to do it today. But again, it was, it's kind of chilly and breezy. And, we just kind of hung out. I told Lino, I said, I feel like I'm wasting a good afternoon.
Well, you could say that because when did we do that? Friday?
Yeah.
Because usually we don't get to work together, but I was off Friday. So we went ahead and took care of that.
Yeah, me and Lino did it. And like I said, I was going to show it to you tomorrow. It looks good. It's going to work out good.
Yeah, so you were able to take some time this afternoon because you were already taking care of that. So he's too antsy. He can't sit still. He can't just hang around the house. It's got to be doing something.
Yeah,
and if the weather's nice, I should be doing something.
Yeah, I feel like if that sun's up, man, I'm burning daylight.
Which I know a lot of you all probably feel the same way. Eddie Longest is on.
Hey, Eddie Longest.
Leaving Sebring, Florida, Wednesday, going to Hanover, Virginia for planning and summer gardening.
All right.
And
I know somebody else going to be leaving Florida. Stan, let's see. I'll just say it like this, Stan. Friday would be good, but we can talk about it.
Mark says, I've had to get the plant bed cloths out of the pack house and put them on the plant beds more than one time.
Yeah, Mark, I kicked myself. I'm pretty sure I threw away some brand new remake cloths that were probably, 50 yards long, whatever a plant bed would have been at the time. I can't remember what the dimensions of a plant bed was, but it seemed like they were 25, 30 feet wide, 50 long or something like that.
Larry Terrell is on from
Hey, Larry Terrell.
Reedsville. Pat Doka says, here in Phoenix, I have corn that's 16 inches high and tomatoes the size of golf balls. 100 degrees yesterday. Hope it cools down. Enjoyed your corn planting videos.
Well, Pat, I got me some onions that are size of, no, they ain't softballs. They're,
Tennis balls, maybe?
encroaching on a tennis ball. Not quite, look bigger than a golf ball, getting to a tennis ball, but not quite to a tennis ball yet. And I'm just as proud as them things. This is the first year I've ever had onions. And it's because I always cultivated them. I wrapped them up like it was tobacco or something, man, like I was laying them by. And they never did, And then I was watching one of Danny's videos one time. He got talking about ringing an onion. And I was like, what is ringing an onion? And so when I learned that, I found me a ring tool Lino had. I took her spoon.
My silverware.
I took her spoon out there the other day and rung around them some more, and they really are spreading out now, and I'm just tickled to death with them.
I told him what I envisioned for a really great tool for that is one of those kind of skinnier trowels.
Yeah.
That you use for masonry work.
They got one pink pumpkin that's a triangle straight down.
Yeah,
it's already bent with the triangle.
And so it's easy on your hand too, because it's already, like bent into that curve. So I just had that in my mind that would be a good tool for that. 1904 Farm says, no, just made the rows up for the Bloody Butcher. I won't plant till May 5th.
Oh, good.
Our last frost date is May 15th.
Good. It was somebody, I can't remember, somebody from Kentucky told me they had planted corn already, and this was a week ago. Or maybe a little more than that. I can't remember who it was.
Shane Jean says, ordered bearings for my disc collar from Agri Supply. They asked me how I found them, said it was your channel.
All right.
Yeah, because Agri Supply, you talk about them
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I mean, it's a good wholesale. I was down in Raleigh today, and I told Lino, and I did have time. I could have stopped by, but I told her I need to stay out from down there. I'd come back with something that I don't particularly have to have. I mean, if I gotta have it, I gotta have it. But if I don't have to have it, I don't need to.
It's like a toy store or a candy store.
For us, for all of us, it's a toy store for sure.
Haggy Farm is on.
Hey, Haggy Farm.
Says, sorry I'm late. Hope all is well.
It is. Thank you.
And Mark says, I wish I still had some of that remay.
Yes, Mark. That remay was the stuff, boy. Because you could leave it on there. I mean, it wouldn't hurt it. It was a cloth, like if that peach tree, I could have covered it up this evening and left it on there all day tomorrow and took it off when I got off work. And
So,
it wouldn't have hurt.
Do they not make it anymore?
Oh, I'm sure they do.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it may not be remade, but I'm sure they make a cloth like that.
Stan says mid-20s Wednesday night at home in Michigan. Ugh, yeah. Michigan's not a place for me, I can tell you. I can
It's
tell
a
you.
pretty nice place.
I'm sure it's beautiful in there.
Or at
'Cause
least where Stan was at.
I watch one show that's based in Michigan, and the summers there are absolutely
Yeah.
gorgeous.
Are you talking about Dr. Pole?
Yes.
Lord
It's still a
mercy.
show. So I watch the veterinary show, Dr. Pole, and he's in Michigan. And I see him in the winter, too. And Dr. Pole will take he wears the coveralls with no shirt underneath it. So when
Yeah.
he's delivering calves and stuff, he can unzip it. And he has his bare chest out. And he's like almost 80. And I love that man. But
Yeah, he is pretty cool to watch, though.
yeah, but anyway.
He's old school.
Yeah, he is old school, and he teaches a lot of the newer vets these techniques.
Yeah.
He's very good at his job. But anyways, the area he goes to visit, there's a lot of Amish farms he goes
Yeah.
to, and in the summer it's just beautiful there. David Cannon says, "Thank God for the rain this past weekend."
Yeah, I don't know if my gauge was right or not, but Sam said it like just a little bit from being an inch. I got him to check it last night when we got back from church, and I mean, it didn't look like an inch to me, because an inch I can generally tell from the crust on the ground and how much crust is in the fields and stuff, but it may have been an inch. I don't know. It was real slow, which helped out a lot.
Mitch Kimbrell is on.
Hey, Mitch Kimbrell.
Says, I don't know I want to read this. If he's married, his wife might be upset. Says, bought my first 140 because of this channel about 4 weeks ago.
No, it's all
So
right.
we'll let Joey take the blame for that, Mitch, if you're under any heat for it. But yeah, so he just got his 140. And who is your subscriber?
Well, I was going to let him. Yeah, there's a guy, a fella, Brandon, but you may not know his YouTube channel. I'm not going to say his YouTube channel tonight. I may mention it later on, because he may want to make a video of it, and I don't want to spoil his fun. But he got him a tractor, and I was tickled to death of it. And he sent me a picture of it today.
Paul says, I got about an inch here. It certainly was a slow rain all day.
Yeah, I guess that'd be right then, Paul.
It wasn't a huge soak rain, but it was kind of a long rain.
Yeah.
Like all day. Orbra's on.
Hey, Orbra. Orbra's up there where it's going to get chilly tonight.
Bart Sexton says, my peach tree is loaded. They look like the size of your thumb.
Yeah.
And they don't get big like peaches should, and they get a small spot the color of peach should be, and rest is green, including the inside. So maybe he's got too many.
Well,
Maybe he needs to cut some back.
well, the tree will let go what it can't handle, if I understand it right. But what I was saying earlier about going to South Carolina was everybody went down there to get fresh peaches, and now if our peach tree makes, we don't have to go to South Carolina. We just go out here.
Oh, yeah. Because the ones we've had have been, now they don't get that real deep peachy color that you would
these
get.
are white peach.
Oh, okay. Well, then that's the
Yeah,
reason.
they're
Okay.
not the brand.
I thought it was because they're homegrown.
Yeah,
I'm like,
no.
oh, well, these are just homegrown.
No,
You know how?
it's a white peach.
Okay. You know how some homegrown stuff looks different than
Yeah.
what you get at the store. So, Bart says we got a little over half of well-needed rain.
Yeah, it was getting pretty dry too. I mean, now when I knocked those beds down, they had plenty of moisture in it. It was enough moisture if we didn't get no rain, I feel like it would have sprouted anyway. Would have been needing some pretty soon after that, but it was a lot of moisture in those beds I had.
Bart says we could use a little bit of rain up here. They got some south of us.
Oh, he didn't get much. Oh man, I hate that.
And Orber says 39 last night, supposed to be the same tonight. So that's not too bad, 39.
39 in Mount Airy. I mean, he's above Mount Airy.
That's,
I know, but we're supposed to be 35.
oh,
I would have thought
Yeah.
I would have thought he'd have been colder.
yeah, I don't know.
Of course, it's so many different ones. I look at one weather app or something like that. Lena looks at the Weather Channel. And they all got different temperatures, so I don't know. What'd you see?
Nothing.
Oh, I thought you was looking at the weather.
Bart says it does drop a lot, but they have never turned like they should.
Yeah, okay. Well, I got a cherry tree out there that's going to get turned into some barbecue smoking wood. I'm telling you it is. Lena don't want me to cut it down because
What, the peach tree?
No, the cherry tree. It's a cherry tree right in front of the barn.
Yeah, it doesn't.
It has never had a cherry. Never, ever. And I've had it about, what, 10 years?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I've even pruned it back so I can mow around it.
We need to ask Danny.
I don't know. I don't know if it's...
I don't think he's on tonight, but
I
I'm
don't
sure
know
he
if
would
it's
know.
such, and these guys will know this. You know how they say you need another pecan tree to get a pecan tree to have a lot of nuts? I don't know whether this cherry trees are the same way.
Yeah, like maybe it needs a mate out there near
Yeah,
it.
I don't know. Hey, Sammy.
Brian says, Joey, the tractor I called you about, I helped my neighbor sell it, and the new owner came in from West Virginia Saturday morning to get it.
Cool deal.
Bart says white peaches are the best. Donut peaches are the sweetest.
These white ones are pretty sweet. I think that's why Lena likes them pretty good.
Speaking of sweetest and
What?
donuts,
Oh, my goodness.
I had,
At the church stew.
yeah, at the church stew, Mr. Ken and Miss Jane brought boxes of, they're called North Carolina jelly donuts. They're not jelly, they're plain, but they're the best donut in the world. And Joey doesn't agree because he likes Krispy Kreme.
Krispy Kreme, king of donuts.
No,
Nobody else counts.
these North Carolina jelly donut stores. There's one in Mebane and one in Burlington. And I've had both because I never had Mebane's, and that's what I had this weekend, and it was so good.
Krispy Kreme. Krispy Kreme. We go down to Outer Banks, and what's the one you want to stop at sometime?
Britt's Donut. Oh, well, that's at Carolina Beach.
No, to Outer Banks you want to stop.
Duck's Donuts.
Yeah, Duck's Donuts.
Yeah, I bet theirs are good too. But we don't ever go there. 'Cause
Somebody-
they're so expensive.
Somebody had a trailer, a food truck trailer that said Duck's Donuts, that they'd go around to the things around here.
There's also Mama Crockett's Donuts. Hers are pretty famous too. They're like cider,
Yeah.
apple cider donuts or something like that. So yeah, donuts are a big business, and I'm
Krispy
I'm
Kreme's
here
wonderful,
for-
but it will give me a
Look,
heartburn.
I'm here for the business. Yeah, I mean that is true because
I
it
don't
does.
know.
It's something about their oil.
It gives me a heartburn.
So
so
that's
bad.
why we can't have Krispy
But
Kreme.
no, we can have
Jelly donuts, they didn't give me heartburn. Okay, back on track here.
Well, it's okay.
I caught 3 fish.
You
That's
caught
good.
3.
You caught
Sammy
3
went
fish?
fishing. Were they bass or
They were brown.
brim? Okay.
They weren't big though.
So you
They were
worm?
near the bank. I was cheating.
Did you worm fish?
Yeah, I had a bobber. I was
Okay.
Every fish I got's gonna have a hole in the lip.
They're gonna be mangled and disfigured
cheating. I
mouths.
ain't got a lot of them left.
Well, Elliot
There's
had
more
went.
in there than you think it is.
Yeah,
so.
and Elliot went fishing sometime last week, and he caught some bass. So there's fish in there. 1904 Farm says on the clutch for the fertilizer, there's 2 small rods that hook into the main round stock that the clutch is on. Do you know where to get them,
Brandon,
Brandon?
yeah, Burch Store Tractor. And I know, guys, it's not Agri Supply prices, but you know, I've seen his operation over there and what he puts into it and stuff, and you know, he's probably in line for what it should. I mean, I don't think he's gouging nobody really, but Burch Store Tractor, yeah.
Broom Farm says we got peaches the size of gumballs, supposed to be 37 tonight. And what are we supposed to be, 35?
35.
Okay,
yeah.
so we may be okay.
Yeah, and
I heard that peach trees can take it down to 28.
well, and
like-
it's, plus that peach tree, you know,
Is-
the ground does
yeah,
this,
it's in a
and then
little
it goes
bit of a
down
valley.
and comes back up to the barn. So it's in, and then again, it may get colder in that valley. I don't know.
I don't know.
It does seem like the frost does miss that valley a lot, and it's up on the high spots.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean,
Yeah.
you know, we'll just get what we get. Janice says the sunflower seeds like the rain, I'm sure. Oh, yeah.
Oh yeah. I planted. Leno, Nate sent me some gigantic sunflower seeds, and I planted a few up here the corner of the mulches. We'll see how that comes out. Now, Sammy planted some, was it one Silver Queen and one Hastings in a cup, and I planted those little 2 corns last week, and they're about that tall. Yeah, they're in front of in the mulch garden here.
Stan says these high 80s, low 90s days are really having a negative effect on my snow shovel sales.
Oh yeah, I bet it is.
Because, yeah, Stan's in Southwest Florida.
Yeah, he's just toughing it out.
Yeah.
He's having the hardest time.
And Bart says, I just keep it for the blooms and the shade for the chickens, and with all their poop, it should do like it's supposed to, according to the tag.
Yeah.
I think they tag a dud. Sundowner Whoop Whoop is on.
Hey, Sundowner.
Good evening, everyone. Been working on lawnmowers all day.
That can be a fun job, you know. Small engine stuff sometimes can be a nice break from big engine stuff.
Paul says, I go by Duck Donuts all the time. I'm thinking about going there this weekend with 14 less tires. Yeah, it'll be easier to get in there, Paul. Although, if you go at the one in Avon, it's got that big shopping center. I mean, you could do
I
that.
think he told me in a text he doesn't get up to Avon.
Oh, okay.
I may be wrong.
Because that's the one I'm thinking of. I know there's another one up near Corolla.
Yeah.
And that may be the one he goes by with the 18 wheels. Let's see.
Did you lose your place?
Yeah, 1904 Farm. There's a Duck Donut in Charlottesville, Virginia. You can stop on your way to Madison. Oh,
never
so
seen that.
Charlottesville. What? But we don't go into.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's
'cause
probably not on the main.
We follow 29 there, and get off like that, and then you're shooting up, that way. You know what I'm talking about.
Let me see. Pat Doka says, I'm with Joey. Love Krispy Kreme.
Yes.
Too rich for my budget.
Krispy Kreme.
They're all expensive. But yeah, if you go to like places like Duck Donuts, it was really expensive. And it may have been just because of the location.
Every time I go to Krispy Kreme, and if I get two boxes of donut, they always give me that second box for like $5.
Greg says, I love some Krispy Kreme, but the best donuts I have ever came from Donut Fryer in Gatlinburg, Tennessee.
They do have some good caramel apples in Gatlinburg.
I'll have to remember
Tennessee.
that.
I have, at church, I have this standing rule. If any church member goes to Gatlinburg.
Yeah, John, pay attention in case you go, because if he finds out, it'll be an issue.
Or children who are honeymooning that way,
Yeah.
they got to bring me back a caramel apple.
Yeah, we have like 4 people at church and our kids. They all
Bring me back caramel apples.
because they're campers too, so they go and camp up in the mountains, Pigeon Forge, Gatlinburg area. And when they get back from vacation, there's a bag in Joey's seat at church. And I'm like, why do y'all keep doing this for him? Stop spoiling him. So he's a little brat.
So good. They're so good. They're even better when we're up there and we're walking through Gatlinburg and I get to eat one going down the sidewalk.
He's
That's
tearing
one
it
of
up.
the best.
Let's see. Bama Tractor says, got my Haas Jimmy Red and super sweet corn in the ground. Also got the okra, squash, pole beans, cucumbers planted, putting tomatoes and peppers in wicking tubs.
Bam, I bought some Silver Queen from Hoss. I did not plant it this year. I bought it not last year. It's 2 years old now. I had some Silver Queen that was running on 3 years old. I needed to go on and get planted. And because I run about 2 years behind on my seeds. I think I mentioned that in the video. That's just something I get worried a little bit about in case something happens. You can't get none. I'd like to have a few.
Come on. I was going to introduce them to Prissy.
Oh.
And if they knew how Prissy was, this is big for her. This was Joey's mom's cat. And we took her after his mom passed away. And she's usually been kind of antisocial. But she's really just blossomed in like the last year of coming out and being around everybody. She's very fluffy.
She needs to get re-anti.
Yeah, she's a little bit of a older lady. So I tell Joey, she can't help her weight. And she don't even eat fancy feast. She just eats dry food. And she's got, a bit of a weight problem, but she's beautiful. me find out where I was. Carl Smith is on.
Hey, Carl Smith.
Hey, Carl. He says, good evening. Sorry for being late. Planting butter beans, snaps, and Silver King corn.
All right.
And
He say Silver King or Queen?
King.
King, yeah. I've wanted to try that.
Butterfly Farms is on.
Hey, Butterfly Farm.
Says, hey, from Gold Mine, Georgia. Does Brandon with Burch Store Tractor trade on any parts?
He will. Obviously, he's going to be something that he can use, that he can sell and stuff. But yeah, he will talk about it. Yep.
Welch Farm says Krispy Kreme hot and now is the best.
That's it. Krispy Kreme.
Bart wants to know, hey Joey, what size is the shovels that you use on the back? I know you told us, but refresh my memory.
Yeah. They are unattainable 10 by 12s. I say unattainable because I just haven't been able to source a replacement for them. I can get 9 by 7 or 7 by 9s or something like that. I can get some that will do the job and do it good. The country store down the road here, Corbett Ridge Grocery, he can get those. But the 10 by 12s I have, I can't source them.
Paul was saying the original in the town of Duck is the one he goes by. And there's one in Avon too, on the
Right.
way to Buxton. So yeah, there is a town called Duck, and that's up
That's
north.
why they're Duck Donuts.
Yeah, Duck. They're up north, and I forget about Duck. It's right before Corolla.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, Duck's actually bigger than Corolla.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. I just remember going to the grocery store in Duck, and it was a madhouse because everybody from Maryland,
When I say
New
bigger,
York,
I mean
New
it's
Jersey.
more populated.
Okay. Well, it was that grocery store is definitely populated.
Yeah.
Bama Tractor says can't pass a hot and now sign.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah, I used to make jokes because if you see that light on, you would be screeching into the parking
Yeah.
lot, like hitting the brakes.
I don't care too much for the
hotness?
cream filled ones or
okay.
the special deals that they come out. Matter of fact, I seen that advertisement because I may or may not have a Krispy Kreme app on my phone, but
He does.
I seen an advertisement for Kit Kat. I don't like the little special promotions, and or deals they put together. I just plain Krispy Kreme donuts, all I want.
All right, and this is the last thing I'll say about jelly donuts, okay?
What?
But they've got a jelly donut. It's called maple bacon.
Who?
Jelly donuts, the
Oh,
store.
well, nobody likes them.
I said this is the last thing I'm going to say about it. So they've got their big donuts that are like twice the size of Krispy Kreme. They put a maple glaze on it and then cover it in fresh cooked bacon bits, like real bacon. That's the kind of stuff that
Oh yeah,
I don't need to be around.
Speaking of bacon, we hit a sad moment tonight.
That one pack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One pack cannot get eaten.
Yeah. Oh, well, I'm sure Sam would have ate it all if I left
he
it
may
out.
not have, but
He would have. No, I cooked a pack
so
of bacon
yeah, a
tonight.
pack of bacon
and
had been not lasting us. I mean, it was
I used to do 1.5
Yeah.
or even 2 bacons when the boys were all
because the boys
home.
would be like, "Well, you gonna eat that? You gonna eat that?
Yeah,
You gonna
they
eat
would
that?"
guilt me. I'm like, here, take mine, of course. But yeah, we had leftovers, so I put it in the freezer so I can use it for like potato soup or something, when I put a little bacon in there. So it'll be used. But yeah, you're right. I didn't even think about that. Timbo says, feed that skinny cat.
She eats good.
Well, and she's so short-legged too. That's also what makes her look a lot bigger, is because her legs are so short and she's so fluffy. Brian says, checked on my potatoes today, and the plant head is about as big as a peck bucket.
Oh wow.
Planted 20 tomato plants, 16 hills of squash, 8 rows of green beans, and 7 rows of golden queen corn.
Brian?
Saturday. That's a lot.
Well, Brian's not too far from us, so I mean he's going. I think you'll be okay. My potatoes, in which
Well, he just planted it Saturday, though, so it's all still
Yeah.
in the ground.
No, his tomato plants are slips.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Now, some of the stuff is still in the ground, but his tomato plants are slips. My potatoes are probably up about that tall. And it's funny, I've yet to put rolling cultivators on the garlic, and it's probably done. I just ran through them the other day with the disc again. And I just ran through the potatoes, and I wrapped them up harder with the disc again and put a little more fertilizer on them because I'm in preparation of fixing to take those discs off. And I was like, man, I still ain't used them rolling cultivators yet.
Allison says, we've transitioned to shooting practice on Monday nights. So I'm going to need closed caption on Jtwes so I can keep up with the convo. Allison, get you an earbud.
I don't, you know what, Allison, I don't know.
If she got AirPod Pros, they are also ear protectors,
Well,
and she
yeah.
could hear.
Well, yeah, that's true.
You know, because Will was using his as ear protector for work until they had a rule of no more earphones or earbuds or whatever. The W says, I've planted Silver King for 2 years now, and I can't get it to come out right. This year, I'm planting peaches and cream corn from Hastings.
Hey, I'm planting some peaches and cream.
So we'll find out together, because this is our first year.
It's not Hastings. I found it in Mebane Shrubbery. It was quality. Starts with a Q. Y'all know the name. Y'all seen it. It's a big company that does them. I can't say it right, but I'm not gonna plant.
No.
I'm not gonna plant it till probably second week or maybe even third week of May, because I want this to come in after we get back from the beach, which I think it'd be fine. And somebody questioned me when I planted the Silver Queen about the days to maturity and us going to the beach. And I mean, Hoss Tools said 75 days on Silver Queen. That's what I was going by. But guys, you know how that can change. You push it with some water, or if it is dry and you don't water it and it takes longer. So I mean, those days can change probably as much as 3 or 4 or 5 days.
Bart says, call Brandon and see if he can get the 10 by 12. He has 9 by 7 from Canada, so maybe he can get them also.
Yeah, I've talked to him about it, and I think he said he was going to look. I may try to do that again and ask him. Actually, I've been pushing him to see if he can get a source a steering shaft and a worm gear for 140s, because I mean that's, you know, you can put sector gears in them all day long, and you can put the pinion in there all day long, but 90% of the time it's the worm shaft on the end of your steering column that has the most wear in it.
Sundowner says Bavarian cream for donuts.
Bavarian
Yeah, I've
cream?
never tried that. I've heard it, but never tried it. And Sundowner says they love that bacon too. Laura says taking Daddy to Corolla for his birthday.
That's good.
Yeah, that'll be fun. And then it'll be before it gets like really busy,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
or
won't be
really
too
hot.
bad.
Brian says it was 39 this morning.
Oh yeah.
And Timbo says the Amish make donuts here as big as your head. Your tongue will beat your brains out.
I don't know about
I
that.
know.
Unless they got Krispy Kreme on them.
Brian says, I did disc my potatoes Saturday and pushed the dirt under the plant head. And Joel Tate has, have you ever planted any incredible corn?
I have. Rogers planted quite a bit of it, and I may be thinking about that. I may be thinking about eating Rogers. I have a pack in my freezer that's probably, I don't know, 3 or 4 years old now. It's about a half a pound of incredible. I hadn't planted it. Thinking about it, but I'm gonna try that peaches and cream. But it's good.
And Sundowner says Ag Supply, I guess about the, I don't know what they're referencing from Ag Supply.
Yeah, I don't think Agri Supply's got those shovels, Sundowner, if that's what you're talking about. If they did, I'd be down there tomorrow getting a couple sets of them.
Custom Cutter 100 is on.
Custom Cutter. That's, oh, I can't remember.
Says, good evening, everyone. Just got in from cutting 70 acres of hay with,
Yeah.
with my 93-year-old father-in-law.
Yeah.
Long day.
I bet it is.
70 acres, my goodness.
That's a lot of hay on
And
the
then
ground.
him being 93 still doing it too.
Yeah.
You know, his father-in-law, that's quite a lot. That's big time.
Since we got quite a few on there, and I know he don't mind. Custom Cutter here, he had a little bit of an accident.
That's Ken then.
Yeah.
His name's Ken.
Yeah, well, I was just going, I didn't know if you want me to say Ken
Oh,
or not.
well, I don't have his last
All right,
name. I didn't
know.
say his last name.
So Ken, I was purposely not saying his last
oh, I
name,
thought you
but
were,
that's okay.
I thought you just forgot it.
No.
Okay. Sorry, Ken.
But Ken had his rolling cultivators mounted with cuffs, and that thing worked loose and went up under his tire while he was coming back to the house, I assume, and it flipped a 140 over on him. Well, not over on him. He got thrown away from it.
Thrown off of it.
And could have been a bad deal. So y'all be careful on those tractors. Be careful on heels. One of these days, I need to make a video of the situations I try not to ever get my 140 in. Because I may not look like it sometimes on these videos, but there's certain ways over here at the barn I won't turn that tractor. There's certain ways I won't drive it. And if I do got to drive it on a hill, if I'm cutting or plowing, I'm always plowing with the heavy side up the hill. But could have been a bad deal for Ken, certainly. And we're thankful that, it didn't hurt him. What?
I'm sorry, I can't see anything. Hold this for a minute.
Are you taking your contacts out?
Yes, I'm
Okay.
throwing them away.
Where was you at? You was at
Hold on.
Ken, okay.
Look, I'm right back. I just had to get him out of my eyes.
Oh, you can see up close?
Yes, I can see up close, fine.
Oh.
It's far away, I can't see. All right.
You was at
Oh, that's
Ken.
so much better, yes. And Ken did say, Ken, AKA Custom Cutter. So he's okay with us using his name.
Cool deal.
But yeah, Ken, we're so glad you're okay. I know you might have had some road rash and stuff, but all that is, you can heal and not have permanent damage, so
And
I'm
Ken,
glad.
it's a good time to tell you this now. He's going to probably shoot me for telling him this now. You can mount them with the cuffs, but you just need to get a set of those cuffs from Agri Supply that have locking pins on them. It actually locks in on those rolling cultivators. After you wedge it down, get it tight as you can there, it got 2 set screws in them that go in from either direction like that, and that lock it in there. I have run some rolling cultivators like that.
Mark Young says Empire used to make those shovel plow points.
They still do, Mark. Empire is about 2 or 3 of those tillage point makers that they all combined or bought each other out. It's really all one company now. And like I said, I've said this before, I did get a hold to some guy, the distributor, and he was like, yeah, you just call me whenever you need a set. And I mean, we had some guys on the channel here that tried to call them, and it was to no avail. So I kind of gave up on calling that guy. He never returned anybody's phone calls. But yeah, I'd love to. The set I got now would last me another 2 or 3 years. I'm actually using the set on the Super Ray that I've had for 2 or 3 years, and the new set that I had on the 140 a little bit last year, not much, is still on the 140 back feet. I haven't even used them this year.
Ethan Miller is on.
Hey, Ethan Miller.
Says, good evening, been doing peaches and cream for about 5 years now. They love water and nitrogen, great flavor.
Oh, I bet.
So yeah, it's our first year doing peaches and cream, so we're excited about that. Josh Patterson says, we plant Gotta Have It corn. Good, sweet, and tender, a little pricey.
There's a fellow at church plants a variety, and I don't remember the name of it, but it's supposed to be the absolute sweetest on the market. I wish I remember the name of it. Brother Charles' son. Yeah, I can't remember the name of the corn, but he sells it like in Durham and stuff.
I don't know if I was there for that conversation because I don't remember him saying.
No, I doubt you were.
Okay. Martin Farms is on.
Hey, Martin Farms.
Good evening, Jtwes family. We're late but made it.
Hey, never late, never late.
Better late than never. And Custom Cutter said, I'm going to make some videos on how I mounted the cultivator wrong. Would have killed me, still here by the grace of God.
Yes, Lord.
And Allison says, praise God for a blessing. So yeah, he, and that is something that I try to remember to pray for, about all the people that you kind of advise and stuff, just to keep them safe.
Yeah,
because I know a lot of people are new with this stuff. Not saying Ken is, but there are people who say, hey, tell me how to do this. I haven't done it before. So, you know, I just want you all to be safe.
Yeah, and Ken, you know, he texted me about it, and I told him, I said, you know, we'll talk about it. We just make sure you're okay first before we talk about it.
Mark Young says, knock on wood, I've always been careful as to where I take my 140. I've seen Daddy take it in places that made me draw up. Well, and Joey's 140 actually was turned over.
Yeah, the guy that I got it from, it actually turned over on him. Mm-hmm. And I think I've mentioned it before.
Oh, have you? Okay.
On videos and stuff, but yeah, so it has turned over before.
And Ken says, yes, thanks, Allison. He deserves all the praise. Joey Neal says, how do you adjust the front springs on your front cultivator?
Front springs? Mm-hmm. Joey, I'm not sure. Springs. And I may be drawing one of those blanks right now.
Yeah, Sundowner says you're talking about the sweeps, Joey. Oh, I guess Joey Neal.
If you're talking about on the shanks itself, I don't know that you might can adjust those springs, but those are just for really tripping is what
On
they're
the front
for.
arms is what he says.
Oh, well, I just, you know, before I rebuilt those arms, I really didn't have a great set of arms. But anyway, when I rebuilt them, what I tried to get out of it is level. And when you let it all the way down, that it's not touching the steering shaft. A lot of 140s, that arm, you can look and there's a little wear spot in that arm and a wear spot on the steering shaft where it's been touching the steering shaft. So I just worked that adjustment out, and those springs will go two different ways. That arm will go this way and that arm will go that way on that spring. So I just worked level, and when it's all the way down, it doesn't touch the steering wheel, and that's all I worked out on that 140, and it seems to be good on it. By the way, Brandon has those springs brand new. The whole arm.
And Carl says, hope you get to feeling better soon, Ken.
Yes.
And Jim Kaufman is on.
Hey, Jim.
Says, Joey, was it serendipity sweet corn? Is that what Holman was talking about?
I think it was. Yeah,
serendipity.
it was. That's it. I knew it was something like it. Thank you. That's exactly what it was. It's supposed to be like the world's sweetest corn or something.
And Josh says, simply irresistible is supposed to be the sweetest corn on the market.
No, but it was. I do remember him saying serendipity.
Okay.
Because I was like, man, what a name.
Yeah. You're like, Saren, what?
It's like, Sarah, who?
Yeah.
I can see me now making a video. Hey guys, we're gonna plant some serendipity.
Serendipity corn.
Some dippities. I'd really catch stuff over that.
Yeah. Joey Neal says, okay, thanks. That's the way I done it.
Somebody commented, and I don't think it was none of you guys on here. One of my videos, I said Super A making up some rolls, and I put ROLLS because everybody on my channel knows.
Yeah.
And somebody corrected me in the comments.
They
And
said,
I'm like,
don't you mean rolls?
I was like, well, I guess
They're new to the channel,
Yeah.
I guess. They're new.
that's all right.
Yeah.
It was on the short, I believe. It was on the short.
Okay. See, and the shorts get seen by a ton of people just,
Yeah.
going through YouTube. So, yeah, don't you mean rolls? Scott Small Farming and Things is on.
Cousin Scott. Hey, Scott.
Says, hi, you all. Eddie Longest says, could not find rear shovels for the Cub. I use Agri Supply 12-inch sweeps and mount them as vertical as I can.
Yeah, I'll probably, if I lose the ability to find those real shovels, they got some sweeps that I call it, they have the wings cut off on them, and they're like just sliced off where the whole sweep ain't about that wide, and if you angle that back foot right, I can get it to do what I want it to do as far as how I want it to do it. But Cousin Scott, does that planter, that John Deere planter of yours, does it have like a depth control on the bottom, kind of like my International planter? It looked like they had plates on the bottom. I was watching your video the other day, and I thought, well, I don't think anything's going to go no deeper than that plate will allow it to go, which is good.
Look, Eddie's had also on there cuts deep furrows for the front tire for the next row.
I've said on the channel before that the reason why I use those shovel feet is because it kind of gives a place for the front wheel to go. And I can kind of be looking around and I don't have to worry about guiding out of the road because it kind of keeps it in a ditch there. But my last cultivating of the year, I generally, when I lay it by, I do like trying to have a nice wide sweep on there. So when I'm walking in there, it's not, you know, it's not V'd out.
The Moore's Outdoors is on.
Moore's Outdoors. Thank you, guys.
It says, hey there, glad I was finally able to make it to another one of these. And yeah, Ken was saying thanks for the, you know, well wishes and all. He said he's just real sore in the neck area and road rash on my head, neck, and shoulder. So, but
Get you
road
a
rash
crick-
is doable because it'll heal. But, you know, I was worried about broken bones that he may not have been aware he had.
I
You
think
know,
we've established if he get a Krispy Kreme donut, he'll be all right.
well, because sometimes in situations like that, your adrenaline's up so high you may not know
Yeah.
that you've really hurt yourself. So I'm glad he got tested and stuff. So I'm glad for that.
Yeah, I kind of felt guilty the other night. I told Lena I felt bad, and I had to tell the Lord to forgive me. I was me and Ellie were in the shed, the upper shed, and I was backing out backwards because Ellie was walking towards me and I was walking backwards. And I tripped over my front wheel of my Hustler lawnmower and fell backwards on my back. And I had a tape measure in my hand. I forgot what we were measuring, but I kind of got ill and
And he chunked it. He slung it.
well, the tape measure left my hand pretty quick. I'll say that. And I just got mad because I told Ellie, I said, man, I just feel so clumsy sometimes. And but yeah, I didn't realize I had hurt the muscle in the back of my leg as bad as I did. Next day, I couldn't walk really hardly. It took a while to get that muscle stretched back out.
Yeah, and Ellie's like, I fall all the time. What's going on? You
I know, but I don't
'cause
fall that much. And then I got ill.
it's one of those times like, you know, when you're mad and your shirt gets hooked on a doorknob or something and you've just got to that point, so you're really aggravated and you threw that tape measure. And I'm sure Ellie was like, what is going on here?
Yeah.
You know, so Joey just had a moment. We all get them. Brian says, in my younger years, I've pulled slides of dry tobacco to the pack house on 2 wheels, and I can still hear my grandma screaming from the front porch. Put that tractor down. And yeah, that's how I'm too, because there's certain things that I don't even like to watch. And I mean, I know he's very careful and he knows what he's doing, but it just makes me really nervous.
Yeah.
Because I know, you know, like you got the wheel weights on the front, but still, it's still going to be.
Yeah, I don't have them on there no more.
Okay, well, you know, it's definitely going to be, you know, the weight is not going to be distributed
Yeah.
right. And so it does make me nervous because we do have a lot of hills over here. So, but, you know, that's just how it is. Scott Small Farming thinks his corn planter has slide plates, bean planter has a bolt-on thing.
Okay, so that's what I was wondering. Because the one, you know, I got the 2 international planters, and one of them has a slide plate on the bottom with little angle iron pieces. And I seen that the other day, and it caught my eye. That's the reason why I was wondering. That's cool. Y'all keep praying for soybean farming too, guys. Why Scott reminded me of that, just seeing his name.
Bart says you have to unlock the set screws and turn out the spring and retighten the set screws,
Yeah.
and the rods will push down on the cultivator harder.
Yeah.
Carl Smith wants to know, did you jump up fast hoping no one saw you?
Oh no,
Did you just lay there?
no! I laid there on my back for about 5
I was going
seconds.
to say, did you just lay there?
And that's when I got ill because I laid there, and even after I threw the tape measure, I laid there for another 10 or 15 seconds just looking up. Yeah, no, I didn't.
Yeah.
But I told Lena I felt bad because, you know, it's we get ill at something like that, and we just don't realize how much the Lord looked after us, and could have just been a bad deal all the way around.
Look, Stan says, Joey, give it another 25 years, your ability to bounce is very reduced. Truth.
Yeah.
Yeah, you go down and stay down for a while.
It's still sore now, like even just pushing my leg up against the couch here, it's still pretty sore.
But then, of course, I try to offer remedies. Okay, Epsom salt,
Nah.
soaking them, that will cut your time in half if you've got a sprained muscle or from a fall, even a bruise. Epsom salt will cut that in half. He don't want to hear it, so you know.
Or a trip to the Outer Banks would have done it too. Just stick your leg in the water.
Oh yeah, the ocean will heal a lot of stuff.
Yeah, the ocean boy, man, that thing. You go down there, you can cut your hand like the day you leave to go to the ocean. You go down there and swim for a day, it'd be healed
Because
up.
Elliot, when he got that nail in his knee,
Yeah.
we went to the beach like right when he got cleared, and he had surgery, and so it healed that up by the time we left the beach. Which
Yeah.
also he's in his 20s, so that helps. But that ocean just like dried it up, and it was good to go. Scott says, I have moments too often.
Don't say that, Scott. I would have had a moment, Scott. Well, I just felt so bad for you when you posted that picture of that John Deere and that beautiful Firestone tires. I'd love to get some Firestones for the Super A, by the way. And that thing was flat. I said, man, I just know how I would feel. I'd be like, golly. Because they're just hard to get on and off and stuff. And you got, get it all fixed again. But, it's good the way you handle it and stuff.
And Ken says that he'll be 70 this year,
Oh, okay.
so he don't jump up for anything.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know.
70 years old and he's sitting there playing Superman.
Yeah. Well, and Sundowner says tractors are like horses. They're all good till they throw you.
Yeah. That much is for certain.
And
yeah.
Timbo says we'll keep Epsom salt on hand.
Yeah, Lena, you got some, don't you? Epsom
Yes.
salt. Yeah.
I have a big bag of it. Austin Acruzio
Austin Acruzio.
says, do you grow any okra? We just started harvesting in South Florida.
Yes. And,
Harvesting, so they already got some?
well, yeah, Danny's laying by corn in
Man.
Alabama. I mean, in Alabama.
Yeah, Austin.
Or Mississippi.
Austin, we grow Star of David okra, and it just lasts so long that I canned a whole bunch of it last year, but no one really eats it here but me. So this year, with all the okra, I'm going to dehydrate it and make like just okra chips, and I'll put them in food saver bags so they'll last us all year.
And Roger, we'll shell out that okra here in the next day or so, and I'll bring you some. Roger wants to plant some.
Some okra? Okay.
No, he wants to plant some Star of David.
Okay.
I had forgot about it. We just got to get shelled out, which it's got to warm up for okra anyway.
Yeah.
Okra needs
Really warm.
some warm weather. I mean, it really does.
Yeah, because we do that, like, maybe August is when I'm really getting the most of the okra.
Yeah, I don't.
Because I go out there every day because it's constantly producing. So I go out there almost the whole month of August and just get me batches of it. And I was canning those batches, but now I can just
in
dry
my
them.
opinion, you could just about plant okra at about the middle of June and it'd be fine.
It could, but I always feel like it's late.
Yeah, I know, but
that
it
we're
likes
doing
it
that.
likes hot weather. Ortiz is where you were at.
It's not Artes.
Oh, what was it?
Accurcio.
Accurcio.
Or Accurcio. Sundowner says, y'all going to get that flesh-eating bacteria from the beach. No, that's Myrtle Beach. We're far from there. We go to the cold water, to the Outer Banks water.
You can get that drinking water from the city.
Yeah, he's more worried about drinking city water out the Outer Banks than being in the ocean water. Scott says, Joey, you can't carry worm gear to machine shop. Moore's Outdoors says, nothing like fresh fried okra. Yes, I do fry some,
Yeah, it is good.
just because you can't go all season without frying some. Eddie Longest says, FB59, I use long lower bolts and put washers between lower sweep and brackets to raise the points up. So he's talking about what Brian had asked.
Oh, okay.
There's one that's called It's Me is their name.
Hey, it's me.
Got down to 33 in southern Kentucky last night, was light frost.
Oh, man.
And Austin says, we grow around 100 acres of Clemson spineless for Publix, Ingles, and Kroger.
Wow, 100
So, yeah.
acres of okra.
Well, they supply 3 grocery stores.
Do y'all go through and sucker dead things like, what is it, taking the leaves off so they'll keep growing, or you just try to get one harvest off of it?
And Sundowner says, have you tried the air fried okra? You got to try it. So Well, that's what I'm hoping for. I told Joey I was going to get some at the grocery store just to test, because my air fryer has a dehydrate mode on it too, so I can try to air fry and dehydrate from there. But I also do have a dehydrator too that has all of
Yeah.
the different trays. So I got a few things I'm going to try because this is my first time trying it. Bart says, hey, it's called age, Joey. I have to lay there for a minute to make sure all is good before I jump up from falling. I don't
Yeah.
bounce like I did when I was younger. And Janice says, good night. I'm going to put the chickens up. Good night, Janice.
Don't put chickens up,
I
Janice.
didn't realize it's after 9.
Is it after
yeah,
9?
it's 5 after 9.
That's all right. We'll go a little bit longer.
Okay. But yeah.
Because
So,
I did ask him a question.
yeah, Austin. So yeah, they grow 100 acres. And that, I never heard of that Clemson spineless.
Oh, I have. That's pretty popular.
Is it?
Oh,
Okay.
yeah. Yeah, Clemson spineless is, if you go, that's probably what Corbett's got. Mm-hmm. I mean, it's,
Well, and obviously most grocery stores have that too.
well, and the spineless part is that, I think
It doesn't have those.
because the Star of David, if you let it get big,
Oh yeah, it's tough.
It's going to have some spines in it. You got to get it at the right age, and it ain't got no spines in it. I think that spineless oak will probably.
Because Star of David has a very strict window
Of when- yeah.
it's ready, because it'll get very spiny. And even when I think it's still within that window, because it looks and the way it feels, it'll still, when I eat it, I'm like, oh, this still has a little spine in it. Austin says 20-acre planting every 3 weeks. It takes around 60 full-time harvesters. No, we don't prune the lower branches. I've thought about it though. So 20 acres every 3
So
weeks.
he's rotating them off, so they got them coming. That is
Yeah.
neat, man. That is neat. You need to film that for us. Has he got a YouTube channel?
I don't know. I'll screenshot his name so
Yeah.
we can look it up. But yeah, and Brian, sorry, his name just totally left me. When I bought them, I noticed that the point looked like it was tilted down. I guess it's these aftermarket plows.
Oh, yeah, it probably is.
And Austin says we harvest every other day.
Oh, man.
Yeah, so that is a big time. That's a big time farm.
Well, I mean, and that's, you wonder, how's these grocery stores get all this? I mean, it's folks
Yeah.
like him.
Yeah, exactly. Because somebody's got to do it.
Yeah.
We just don't really see it, especially where we are here. We don't have like huge farms.
Well, yeah, nothing. I mean, biggest one I can think of, well, down the east, they're.
Yeah, down east we got the cotton
Yeah,
and
there's-
soybeans and
there's
sweet
some-
potatoes.
There's some fellow down there. Well, I say fella, it's a lady that Meredith knows. Her husband grows like, I don't know how many sweet potatoes and tobacco and
Well,
peanuts.
I think our number one produce is sweet potatoes for North Carolina.
It is.
We're the number one for that.
You always think of like Georgia because you think of Georgia Jet sweet potatoes, but really North Carolina grows more sweet potatoes than anybody.
Sundowner says Crimson and Longhorn is big in Louisiana, and yes, we whip our okra, cut all leaves to the last okra.
Yeah, that's what I've seen people do, and I never really have.
Stan says, oh, go ahead, sorry.
Oh, I never really have because I'll plant a whole roll of it, and Leno gets all she wants off of it, and I've never really maintained them quote unquote proper by suckering them up.
Yeah, I just go inspect my okra. I'm like, ooh, what have I got today? And I go out there with my little basket and clip enough to, to get some to put up.
I do think we'll stake my tomatoes up like I did last year in that video where we ran that rope back and forth between 3 plants before we hit another stake. And that really worked good last year. It held them up best I've ever held them up.
Stan says who you were talking about is Watermelon King.
Watermelon King?
Who, that farmer, whoever you're talking about.
That was on Meredith's channel. Yeah, Stan, I didn't remember who he was. I just knew she knew the wife of the guy. But yeah, I mean, he raises a lot of stuff.
David says, I have 100 acres of weeds and nobody wants them. Hey, you got 100 acres? That's all that matters right now.
Yeah, you got 100 acres, David. You a lot richer than me.
Right.
Even if it didn't have nothing on it. Land is gold. That's your new gold.
Yeah. Mark Moore says, even y'all late, but made it. Been working on this 140 tonight.
Hey, Mark.
And Greg Moser says good night.
Now I get Mark.
Mark Moore and Mark Young mixed up?
No,
Okay.
Morefields was on here earlier.
You mean the Moore Outdoors?
More Outdoors. They were on here earlier, right?
Yeah.
I get him mixed up that because he's more farmalls, ain't that what it says? More, I don't. We'll get it figured out.
And Bart says good night too. And Ken says, when I was a kid, we used to shell 500 to 1,500 pounds a day of conch, black eyes, zipper, and pink eye peas for Publix, Winn-Dixie, and cash and carry. Mustard, turnips, and collards in the winter. Ooh. Austin says, can't wait to see okra on the channel. I love what y'all are doing.
Thank you, thank you.
And Bama says, I cut my leaves to make the okra patch less like a jungle. And yeah, and I'll try to do, I don't do a lot of video and stuff of things I put up, but you know, I might try to
some
do the
more
okra
stuff that you
process,
can.
especially since I'm going to try something new with it. And yeah, Mark Young says 100 acres, plow day, farm all fanatic could bring all his tractors.
Yeah.
And Allison says Joey is more confused. He is, and
I
I
am
can't.
more confused.
And that's why when I'll read your screen names, he'll give me the person's name, and I'm like, well, I'm not going to remember that, and I don't want to call them by wrong names.
No, you got Moore's Outdoors, and those fellows are great. A couple of young men and their dad with their channel, and then you got More Farmall, which is up here in Virginia, and I just get them mixed up
Yeah,
sometimes.
so they're
That's all
different
it
from
is.
Mark Moore.
Yeah.
But there's just so many, you know, new people to the channel lately that we might have known your name or you told us your name, but please forgive us if we don't remember it.
Yeah, you always remember, guys, the golden rule. A lot of times if I see Will and I need something from Will, I say Will. So
And if you text him, even though he's texted you before, he clears all his texts. So say, hey, Joey, this is blah, 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 even though you may have texted him a month ago.
I've been good about saving names.
Okay,
but
yeah.
I do still got a couple that I haven't been brave enough to say, who's this? I still got a couple that will text me and it's just a number.
Yeah, so anybody texts me and says, hey, this is so-and-so, like we just newly started texting, I add him into contact immediately. Joey
I just
does
forget
not.
to sometimes.
So if you text him, and even if you texted him before, say, hey, this is so-and-so, so he can add you as a contact if he hasn't already.
What time are we?
Oh, hold on. Mark Moore says, he says, LOL, mine is actually supposed to say Paws Farm.
Oh, okay.
Oh, and Scott says Austin has a video on his channel. So we'll look at Austin's video later.
Okay, awesome, cool.
And we'll subscribe too, because I don't know that you're subscribed to him. Joel Tate says, I have 250 Beauregard sweet potato slips ordered from Castle Mercantile to plant Memorial Day.
Yeah, I'm going to get mine from Steele. I think I got a link. Keep it on my channel. Nikki and Allison know them, and they're going to make sure we get them. But I'm going to get mine from them. What?
Timbo.
Oh.
He says, just say, who dis? New phone.
No.
Timbo. What we do without
All right.
him. All right, so yeah, what
So,
do you got for us
I don't
today?
want to hang us out because everybody's used to us sticking pretty close to an hour. And
Yeah, we've gone over
I don't want
tonight.
to abuse everybody here. Verse of the video, guys. 1 Peter chapter 2, verse 24. Who his own self bare our sins in his own body on the tree, that we being dead to sin should live unto righteousness, by whose stripes you were healed. So y'all have a good night. Thank you all for being in here. God bless you. Look forward to some videos this week and just watching the crops grow. So y'all be safe. Have fun. God bless you.
Bye. Have a good night and a good week.
Guess what? I didn't bring my glasses over here to see the button.
You need me to come get it?
No, I can find it. Here it
Okay.
is.
Okay.
I'm going to have to go get my glasses anyway.
Joey.
I know. It's all right.